Pulling his out.
What you gonna do if your man get on this dick?
Walk up on me. Hey, I think you got room now. I need to get a monster. What are you talking about? Do you own this place?
I do. It's over with.
Hey, don't walk up on me like that. Don't walk up on me, nigga. Y'all ain't gonna do nothing but chimp out. Trying to say I can't come in the store. Look at these dumbass chipping out. What y'all gonna do?
Buenos dias, Gunners Collective TV. Back at it, you already know. Like a torta with some bad habits. Bye up, bye up. All I can do is shake my head. Let's get to this intro. Welcome back to the channel, and if you haven't already hit that like and subscribe button, make sure you go ahead and do that. Put your notification bell on all so that way you're directing the direction of the dope content that I stay kicking, and I appreciate the support. So wow, you know, this world that we're living in is crazy. There's a lot going on online, especially online, more so than in real life, right? But this guy, Chud the Builder, who has now been kicked off of Kick, right? Who's a Kick streamer who whole shtick, his whole character that he has built derives from walking around disrespecting minorities of people of color, right? Black, brown, Arabic, Somalian, it doesn't matter. This guy has something in the clip for everybody, literally. He walks around with a can of bear mace and a gun, he's legally can have a gun, right? He legally walks around exercising his right to free speech. Now, by lawful terms, he has every right to walk around in a public setting and say and do whatever he wants, allegedly, right? But at the end of the day, what does that say about his moral compass? The way he was raised, his morals, the way you treat others. See, I've always been taught treat others as you want them to treat yourself, right? If you want people to treat you good, you treat them good. That doesn't necessarily mean it's going to happen all the time, but it's wishful thinking. Now, this man is doing the new 2026. I guess it's the new 2026 thing to do. Walking around disrespecting black and brown people like he could just get away with it. And the crazy thing is he has for so long. Eventually, people rallied together, you know, I guess reported his channel and kind of shed light on what exactly he was doing. You know, but it's crazy to think and to really realize and look into this guy, Chud the Builder, and see how many people really supported him. Did they support his shenanigans? Did they support a lot of people said they supported his freedoms and his rights to say whatever he wanted. And a lot of people said he was just keeping it real. He was exposing exactly what's going on in this world. At the end of the day, man, anyone who's that disrespectful is lucky karma didn't catch him. Now, that's not to say karma won't catch you. And let me tell you something about karma. It gets everybody. The internet and karma are undefeated, like Benavides, right? They hit you fast and in a flurry. And this man finally caught his karma as far as his channel. He was kicked off of the live stream. He is no longer eligible for the kick. You know, he was making a lot of money walking around disrespecting people and basically threatening them and disrespecting them under the gun. You know, I've seen a lot of situations and instances where this man disrespected women and men of color, right? And a lot of people were saying, well, why didn't they do anything? Because he went to these places that he knew were in open public, where there was a lot of witnesses, and for the most part, he was more of the dominant person over these people. When you're pointing a gun and mace at people, that's going to make them think twice about approaching you or doing anything to you. In most cases, a lot of these people that he walked up on, a lot of the brothers, a lot of the Mexicans that he did walk up on and disrespect tremendously, right? These people were not even aware of who this guy was. He just came walking up out of nowhere, slid up under a rock, right? Slithered out from the bush he was hiding behind and just got to kind of rocking them to sleep. talking nice at first, and then all of a sudden disrespecting them. If you notice, most of the time when he was disrespecting, he was walking away slightly. And I'm sure they never showed on camera the gun that he had that he was displaying or the bear mace. He did make several threats of if someone disrespected him back or approached him in a physical manner, he told them he would mace them, he would hurt them. Now, I've seen these guys like these auditors that run around filming. And yes, you have every right when you're in public to use your camera and film whatever you want to, as long as you're not on private property. You have every right due to the First Amendment to say whatever you want, right? But there has to be a moral compass line there. You have to draw the line with disrespect. And you have to understand that you can't go crying on the internet when something bad happens to you when all you do is bad to people. I'm noticing a trend. There's a lot of people, not just Chud the Builder. Okay, there's a lot of other people, a lot of other jokers that are running around disrespecting people. And you notice what they'll do is they'll rock them to sleep. They'll act nice at first. They put on a facade. There's a lot of fakery going on. They'll keep it cool, calm, collect. And then when the time is right for shock value, they'll disrespect people. Okay, and a lot of the ones that are disrespecting people, the new trend is to disrespect minorities, black and brown, and other people of different ethnicities, right? It's a cowardice move, but at the same time, they have found a lane on the internet. See, people love the thrill of shock, right? They love to be thrilled. They love drama. So they found a way to manipulate people into believing that they have every right to walk around disrespecting black or brown people because of their beliefs. This is just racist activity. This is prejudice activity. 100% facts. These people are just using this social media or their platforms as an outlet to disrespect people that they think are beneath them, that they think they're superior to. And it's unfortunate that there are actually black and brown people that support this movement. They think it's funny. They think it's funny when people are running around telling black people that they are chimping out. Where do you think that term comes from? And now it's being utilized by even black people against each other. It's being utilized by Mexicans. It's being utilized by everyone because these people have made it commonplace. They have made it, what would you say? I guess official, like a referee's whistle. They have made it mainstream to go around using that term chimping out when we all know what it's derived from. It's derived from the word monkey, chimp, chimpanzee. It's derived from people saying that black and brown people are not human, that they're animals, right? And now I know it leans more towards the black side, people seem to think, but they're doing Mexicans just as dirty. The people that I have right here on this screen with me are three people very well known for using the term chimping out, for inciting people, for shocking people, and getting away with it. I seen the guy who's dressed as a Joker. I guess they call him the Gypsy. I seen him. He was in one of the Aiden Ross events in a boxing match against a black man. He went to the press conference and he brought a bucket of Kentucky Fried Chicken. I mean, how disrespectful is that? How cliche is that? Okay, he plays off people's emotions. If you can get people emotional, you could draw more attention. That's exactly what these people are doing. This guy, Chud the Builder, like I said, he gets people under duress, under harassment, under stress, under basically threat when he goes up and he disrespects black men and Mexican women and Mexican men. And what he does is he's pretty derogatory. He's pretty straight up. And I've seen a lot of people, a lot of comments. Well, at least he's real. At least he really is out there on the streets. Hey, it's not hard to disrespect a group of people when you have a gun pointed at them. There's nothing they can do. I've seen other people. Why doesn't he go to Chicago with that mess? But all that's doing is making yourself look bad when you're like, go to Chicago with that, because that's obviously letting other people know that you feel some type of way about the city of Chicago. You feel that it's out of control. You feel that that man needs to go to Chicago for anything to happen to him. No, in fact, anything can happen to anyone at any time, myself included. I understand that. I understand the way the world works. But this right here is not understandable. I don't understand how this man and this woman and this other man are allowed to get away with making these derogatory comments. Look, I understand the law says you can say whatever you want to say, but that doesn't make it right. I'm not saying people need to do a violent act to this person, but those are violent words that are being spoken. They are to invoke and entice people to do violent activities so that they could double back and say, see, told you so. These are dumb people. These are violent people. These are people that you can get riled up very easily. Soft-minded people, ignorant people. These people should not be allowed to get away with this. You know, I'm glad that Chud the Builder's channel was turned off, lights out. Everything went black. Okay? Now he's chimping out. Okay? These new terms that these youngsters are using, like chimping out, saying the N-word consistently. You know, at first it was a buffer word and it was utilized, the N-word, by people of different ethnicities other than black, saying it. Some were allowed because they grew up in the hood. Some were not, right? J-Lo got an earful, but Fat Joe doesn't, right? It just is what it is. But you got to understand that there's people like this, Chud the Builder and these other two individuals, this female included, who does a lot of what she does is take people's clips on Instagram and other social media platforms where people are in a state of panic, or people are, you catch them on a bad day, or they're doing something unusual, and she sits back, laughs, and says they're chimping out and disrespects them in every racial way that she could. What makes her more superior or better? Because she has a channel, she was able to create something that's free that anyone could do. You know, to sit there and say people are beneath her or less than, that's what these three individuals do. And they have gotten away with it for so long. Now Chud's channel was blanketed out, gone. He's done, right? But that doesn't mean someone else won't spring up from the ashes. You know, like I said, this guy, the Gypsy, was actually allowed to go on an Aiden Ross event. What fame does he have? I understand that most of those guys are B-side guys that go on that channel or go on that, you know, on that platform for the fighting. And I respect Aiden Ross doing his thing, man. It is what it is. But why would you even allow to showcase or highlight a man like that who does nothing but disrespect the black and brown communities, yet you work hand in hand with black and brown communities to make money? See, that's the problem. I learned a long time ago. If you sit with my enemy and laugh and eat and dine and wine and dine and do all that with my enemy, knowing that they want to bring me down, then you're not my friend. You're the one passing him the salt, right? You can't use the excuse, well, he ain't never did anything to me. Nobody did something to me. And me and you, you're an extension of me. I'm an extension of you because we're friends, right? So you don't sit there with black and brown men and hype them up and pump them up and then sit there with a known racist or someone who just constantly uses the N-word with the hard ER to disrespect black and brown and break bread with them. Because what you're doing is a slap in the face to the people that you rock with and you make money with that are of ethnicities that are black and brown. The pigmentation of their skin is a darker shade than that man's is. No one is better than anyone. You might say and think you are. You might be a little bit more intelligent, but that doesn't make you better. These people, like I said, they might not have a racist bone in their body, but in the year 2026, they have found a lane that disrespecting people for the shock value and for all that is the thing to do. And there's going to be a lot of copycats. There's going to be a lot of people that do that. And there are a lot of real racists and a lot of real haters that are in these people's DMs, messaging them, pumping them up. I seen where Chud the Builder was looking for oh man, because I'm going into dangerous situations. Well, yes, because you're doing dangerous activity. You know, I've seen people like myself. I don't use the N-word, right? But if I'm rapping a song and I even slightly say "n," right? And don't even say the N-word because I mean, it's just not in my repertoire. I've never really done it, right? I'm not going to sit here and say I've never used the N-word in my whole life, right? Because I have out of anger. Once upon a time, a long time ago, before I ever did YouTube and gangbang, and I was gangbanging and it was black and brown and we were arguing back and forth and they called me the N-word and I called them the N-word back, right? Just facts, just truth. But I'm not going to sit here and say that was right at all. That was wrong on both parts. We were all totally wrong. We were stupid young kids. Didn't know what the fuck we were saying or what it meant. As I went to prison and I got an understanding of the word and how it was an ignorant word to use, and it was a word that was utilized to disrespect black and brown, I realized that would not be a word that I would ever use, not even in anger, to people, because they didn't deserve it. And just to let you know, it wasn't used against a black man. It was used against another brown man who called me that, right? And I felt disrespected because he used that word, so I called him back, and he didn't like it. Okay, a long time ago. But it's the truth. But someone like me says that, and I get canceled. People don't want to fuck with me no more. Oh, I always knew you were a racist. I always knew. Yet these guys, Chud the Builder, this female right here who's on Instagram, I'm not even going to use her name, right? And this guy, this joker who thinks he's a gypsy, right? Or this gypsy who thinks he's a joker, no disrespect to the motorcycle club. He has nothing to do with them. But this guy will run around and disrespect blacks and then fight them in boxing rings, make money beside them. It's not just an act. These people really mean what they're saying. They really, anytime someone says something as derogatory as disrespecting a black or brown man, they really mean that. That's really coming from their heart. If their mouth said, from the heart, the mouth speaketh. They really believe it. And people are allowing these people to keep continuing to do it. Now, I'm not saying go get violent. Not at all. Don't. That's only going to hurt you more than it hurts them. But enough is enough already. We're too busy arguing black and brown people. Oh, you see it in Los Angeles all the time. The hatred, the NKs, the this, the that. When you got people like this on the internet disrespecting both groups all the time, and people literally black and brown supporting it. Yeah, that's a real motherfucker right there. That fool, at least he pulls up on him. Yes, with the gun and bear mace under duress. He's harassing these people. Older black men that are just in the park having a drink, maybe some wino, sipping some wine, smoke some crack cocaine, doing their thing, right? But they ain't bothering nobody. They're living their life. And this man stereotypes them and says they're chimping out and this and that because he disrespects them in the first place, calls them out of their name. And then when they get loud and hostile back, which is human nature, then all of a sudden they're chimping out. Come on, man. No, you're chimping out, walking up on people that you have nothing to do with, that you don't know, bothering them. That's chimping out. That's acting animalistic. Treating other human beings like shit is not a human thing to do. It's a piece of shit thing to do. So who's really chimping out, to be honest with you, right? I'm going to defend the black and brown and the the white communities to the fullest, man. The people that, come from impoverished, because it's not all about just black and brown, man. There's good white people. There's good everybody. Human beings, period. Woods, right? But people like this, man, they go above and beyond for money and for clout and for reputation. And the reputation that these people are building is crazy, right? This dude, Chud the Builder, I'm fucking glad he got exposed. People are talking about feeling sorry for him. Oh, man, he has his right to say whatever he wants. He doesn't have the right to harass people. If someone walks up on me and I'm working on my yard or doing my thing and they just walk up and they're like, hey, man, what's up? Hey, how you doing, man? They got a camera. I'm going to be like, hey, I'm a content creator. What you got the camera for? I'm going to ask questions. And you don't say, whoa, 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 because you don't get crazy automatically. Oh, I can do what I want. All right, that's cool, bro. Can you move? I'm just trying to do my thing right here, right? And if they keep getting crazy and you're like, hey, bro, don't get fucking crazy. Stop chipping out. And then call me the N-word or a wetback or whatever the fuck it is they want to call me, right? And then expect me just to sit there and be quiet, right? Because what they doesn't show you on camera is he has some mace pointed at me or a gun and he's threatening me. That shit ain't cool. And then what's crazy, which is so crazy in the black and brown communities, is we're so stuck on the snitch word. We're so stuck on telling. We're so stuck on cops and all this, and they're the enemy and all that, that this motherfucker will walk up on you, threaten you, have a gun all on you in front of your house where your children sleep, do all this crazy stuff, or walk up on you in public in the store in front of people and disrespect you, right? And we have this thing, we just got to let it go, man. We just got to get punked. Can't call the cops. That's snitching. Can't do this. Can't do that. It's just a wild world we live in. If we allow people like this to get away with the things that they do, they're going to keep getting worse and worse and worse. It's just the way it is, man. I see this guy. I don't care about this guy. He popped up on Instagram a few times while I was watching. And as soon as I hear him start making racial statements and all that, I fucking push, man. I'm not going to sit there and listen and give him a view and all that, right? Fuck him, his pointy ass mustache, his dirty ass oily long hair, and his hairy ass chest. I don't give a fuck about him. I don't care about this chick, man, who thinks she looks good, but a woman can look beautiful on the surface, man, but her insides could be rotten. And as far as this guy, he's a character, dressing up like the Joker, fucking wearing masks, treating children, young black children and Mexican children, disrespecting them. They don't even know what's going on. Just a predator in every sense of the word. With that being said, I'm glad that dude Chud got kicked off kick. He's probably going to go on another platform. He's probably going to figure something out because that's what these types do. But for those that rocked with them, oh, he has his rights. No, he has no right to disrespect another person. He could do it, but if something bad happens to him, then what? What? Will it just be someone chimping out? Stop it. Thumbs up or thumbs down. Heavy's going to be the head that wears the crown. I'm going to continue to strive, struggle, and strive for what I truly believe in, and that's the betterment of all people, except for these people. I don't really like these people, man. You know what I'm saying? This video is sponsored by Vario Liquors out there in Turlock, California. If you ever pull up to Turlock, California, best believe, treat them with respect, man. Show some love. Go pull up to the Vario and get you something cold to drink. Also by Sticks and Stones Yard Service in Tucson, Arizona. If you're in the Tucson area and you need some yard work done, please get a hold of Sticks and Stones Yard Service. Google him. He'll be right there, man. And I'm sure he'll quote you something smooth. We got to look out for all our small local raza businesses. These guys are crazy. Bang, bang.